that for 60 years, and in fact more than 60 years, the fundamental obstacle to peace in the Middle East is the rejection by the Arab and Muslim and Palestinian leadership of the legitimacy of a Jewish connection to the land of Israel. I believe real peace will come when those Arab and Muslim and Palestinian leaders accept and teach their children to accept, as we Israelis have taught our children and our society to accept the legitimacy of the Arab and Palestinian claim of an independent state next to us. When they're teaching their children of the value of peace, of the legitimacy of a Jewish connection to this land, the legitimacy of the Jewish state of Israel and its establishment, there will be real peace in our region. And the best thing that America can do, and that you can do as individuals, is to pressure and promote that acceptance by the Arab and Muslim and Palestinian leadership as soon as possible. Thank you.
Aryeh, we'll start now. John, please go ahead.
Yasher Koach, wonderful presentation this evening.
Thank you.
I think you've been overly modest, and so my question for you is, would you please explain what it is you do at Media Central, why it is so important, and why this has to be the only Jewish mailing or handout I've ever seen that doesn't have an envelope in it. So where on the back people can look to support the good work you do in getting the truth out of the media in Israel today. Thank you.
John, thank you for the question. I'm going to elect not to answer it fully, because we'd be here for another 10 minutes if I were to describe for you what we do. I have taken the liberty of I should recognize actually, my driver and assistant, who happens to be my dear mother, has been very, very helpful here. Joan Green, thank you for other help.
Stand up.
Thank you, Mom. Place brochures there on most of the seats and business cards. John, thank you for your question. The work that we do is described in those brochures. The one sentence I will say is that it is a radical departure from the norm of media relations, which I related to in comparing what I do with what Pete does with regard to developing relationships with the media and providing services for them. Your help and your support, whether it's talking to your own media or in terms of perhaps contributing to our efforts, is certainly appreciated. And there is information on the back of the brochures on my card. You can go to our website, and let's leave it at that. Thank you, John, for the question.
The next we have Peter Kent.
This is probably an opportunity for you to say what you just said again. My wife and I are big supporters of Israel. We've been there many times. And we've always made the comment that you can't really know what's going on over there from here. You have to go there to really kind of get it. Our most recent trip was about a month ago, and I tongue-in-cheek talk about how kind Israel was to stage an international military crisis while we were there. So we were there before, during, and after. The day after the crisis, we were in a meeting with Deputy Minister Denny Aryeh, so we had a pretty good idea of what was going on. And I never ceased to be amazed at the emails and text messages I got while I was there from friends here who were blasting Israel for how horrible it was, how they killed all these people. So it took several days before the word came out. And my takeaway, one of the takeaways from that trip when I got back home, was that Israel needs to go hire somebody, send them to New York, go down Madison Avenue, find a really good PR firm, and go to work. So my question to you, and I know this is sort of repeating things you said in your policy prescriptions and comments you just made, what can we do to get the press more central, kind of more open and more honest with what is going on than what we pervasively read from the liberal media every day?
I thank you for the question, and again, very briefly, I will simply say, Media Central is a project of an organization called Honest Reporting. And if you go to honestreporting.com, I think you have the best answer to that question possible in terms of the activism that you can do in order to help promote more accuracy in reporting by the media. Visiting Israel, without question, is so important, and I invite all of you not only to visit Israel, but to come and contact me when you're coming to Israel. I'd love to welcome you personally for a visit to Israel.
I appreciate the fact that you people in the back would like to talk and everything, but if you could hold off for another 5 minutes, we'd appreciate it.
And we're going to try and stop our speeches from down here and focus on questions.
Hi, I don't know exactly where this question will lead, but has anyone been keeping score between the enemies of Israel and Israel in terms of numbers of lives lost on either side, the amount of property damage on either side, and costs of security, and then how much aid there has been, and so forth? There's nothing objective that seems to be out there. I have an idea that heavily favors Israel as far as who's been losing the most and giving the most. But is there anyone keeping score? If not, why not?
My answer to that is actually twofold. Number one, before I answer the question in the affirmative and suggest a few places you can go in order to find those numbers, I want to point out one very, very important element of that question. I accept the question. I understand where you're coming from. But we have to remember that kind of scorekeeping leads us down a road which I think is, if I talked about moral clarity, very, very, not dangerous, but misleading. If we were to keep score in World War II, for instance, there's absolutely no question that thousands more Germans were killed in World War II, and thousands more Japanese were killed in World War II than were Europeans or Americans. I don't believe that makes any moral statement about who is in the right or who is in the wrong. Having said that, there are numbers, and for the record, I believe in our last Independence Day commemoration in Israel, for the day before Independence Day for us is Memorial Day, there are approximately 22,000 Israelis who have fallen either in terrorist attacks or in Israel's wars since the founding of the state, and that number dwarfs the number of Palestinians who were killed. But even if it didn't, and Palestinians have been killed in the thousands in the last 10 or 15 years in terms of military operations, I don't know if it makes that much of a difference. But in answer to your question, you can go to, I suggest, either there's an organization called the JCPA, the Jewish Council on Public Affairs, which is a New York-based organization, or your local Jewish Community Relations Council here in Silicon Valley and San Francisco, who will have some of that information. You can also go to AIPAC, as well as an organization called, ironically enough, the same JCPA, the Jerusalem Center for Public Affairs, and you can find similar information. Please take my card and send me an email, and I will happily refer you to a number of other different organizations that will give you those information. Stand With Us would be another one, standwithus.org. Yes?
Next we have Rene Guerra, and he has promised a short question.
Please. My question is, when you guys are going to realize that the Democrat Party of nowadays is not a friend of Israel? And you have to, except for Joe Lieberman and a few others, most of the Democrats that are enemies of Israel are Jews, and that you have to work hard on them. We are for you, but you have to work on those guys too. Why not?
I think in this context, the less said by me, the better. I appreciate the comments, and I'm not implying by that I disagree, but I think we'll go on to the next question.
Wise decision. George?
Yeah, my name is George Tendon. The previous